Hello student, this is Bharat Banji here. In class 12 physics, we are going to learn today electrical capacitance. Okay, so before this, we want to see the dielectrics and its polarization. Okay, so dielectrics and polarization. So dielectrics are the bad conductor of the electricity, okay, in which there are no free charges, there exist only the bound charges. Such material we can say as the dielectrics. Okay, now as we saw in the last lecture, that is when we place a conductor in an electric field, suppose electric field in this direction, electric field, okay, so and because of that there is a induced, we can here say there is an induced electric field, okay, and this induced electric field is equal to the external field and net field inside is 0. Okay, this we learned in the last lecture. Okay, now when we are having the dielectric sample, okay, when we are having the dielectric sample and when it is subjected to the electric field, here also there will be the induction of the charge, means some charge can be induced here, some charge can be induced here, but this induced electric field is in this direction and it is less than the external electric field. Okay, so induced electric field is equal in the conductors and it is less than the external electric field in the dielectrics. Okay, and here because of that we can say it is having the polarization of charge, that is sigma p. Okay, sigma is your charge density, so P is for polarized charge density. Okay, so this side we can get minus sigma P and this side we can get plus sigma P as a charge density. Okay, so this will the net electric field inside the dielectric is equal to E net is equal to E external minus E induced. Okay, so this way we can find the electric field inside the dielectrics. Okay. Next, we can classify materials into next two parts, that is polar molecules and non-polar molecules. Okay, so for the polar molecules we can say that for example we are having the oxygen, that is O2. Okay, so when we are having oxygen O2 is made up of the two oxygen molecules. Okay, so here the center of the positive charge and negative charge or centers are coinciding over there. Okay, so they are called as the non-polar molecules. And if you are having the some irregular molecule like H2O, okay, so here we can say that hydrogen is for the positive charge and oxygen is for the negative charge. Okay, so if we say here this is your oxygen molecule and it is combined with the two hydrogen molecules. Okay, so here the centers of positive charge and center of the negative charge is does not coinciding. Okay, so when it is not coinciding they are called as the polar molecules, and when it is coinciding they are called as the non-polar molecules. Okay, when the center of positive charge and negative charge, centers of positive charge and negative charge are coinciding, they are the non-polar molecules. And when the center of positive charge and negative charge is not coinciding, like here we have the two H2O over here. Okay, so these centers are not coinciding, so such material are called as polar molecules. Okay, same thing can happen in HCl also. So HCl is also your polar molecule because hydrogen is very small and chlorine is quite bigger in size. Okay, so that's why this thing happens. Okay, now we can see the distinguishing factor between polar molecules and non-polar molecules. First we can see the example H2O we can write, or hydrogen chloride, HCl acid, that is also your polar molecules. And for non-molecules the symmetric elements are there, that is H2, O2, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, all these are the example for non-polar molecules. As we see here, the centers of positive and negative charge are not coinciding. Okay, not coinciding, so it is a polar molecule. And here we can say the center of positive and negative charges are coinciding. If they are coinciding, so there will be your non-polar molecules. Okay, second factor we can say that here it is having the polar molecules having the permanent electric dipole moment. It is having the permanent electric dipole moment Next, it is not having permanent electric dipole moment. Okay, not having permanent electric dipole moment. Okay, then we know that direction of the electric dipole moment is from the negative charge to positive charge. Okay, so here hydrogen is positive, oxygen is negative. So it is directed from oxygen to the hydrogen. HCl, H is positive, chlorine is negative. It is directed from chlorine molecule to the hydrogen molecule. Okay, so that way it is having the permanent electric dipole moment. Okay. Also we can say that it is having the high dielectric constant. High dielectric constant. Now dielectric constant is the ratio of permittivities. Okay, and it is having the low dielectric constant. This way we can categorize, distinguish between polar molecules and non-polar molecules. Okay. Next we can see the behavior in external electric field. First is for non-polar molecules when electric field is not there. Okay, so here the positive and negative charge are equally spaced. Okay, so there is no alignment we can see over here. So net electric dipole moment for this is 0. Okay. Now when we apply the electric field which is not equal to 0, so that time if suppose the electric field is in this direction, okay, so we know that positive charge over here, negative charge will be here. So all the negative charge of this will be to this side, turn to this side, okay, and all the positive to the other side. Okay, so this way the charges itself starts aligning. Okay, here they are in the first diagram, they are looking the symmetric like. Okay, and here they are all the negative charge to this side, all the positive charge to the other side. Okay, now second is for the polar molecules. Okay, now polar molecules having the permanent electric dipole moment. So whenever the electric field is not there, still it is having the some dipole moment. So we can say here it is positive to negative. Some other may align like this, positive, negative. Some may align like this, positive, negative. Some may align like this, some positive, negative. Okay. So here we can say there is a separation between positive and negative charge. But if you see the collective effect of this, here the electric dipole moment in this direction from negative to positive. Electric dipole moment for this case it is in upward direction from negative to positive. Okay. Here it is in this direction. Here it is in this direction. Here we can say upward direction. Here we can say in this direction. Okay. So there all these alignments or all these electric dipole moments are in random direction. Okay. So there is no net effect we can see over here. Okay. But when we are applying the electric field to it, non-zero electric field, then also it is aligning in this direction, that negative charge over here, positive charge over here. Some may have another alignment like this. So every time the negative charge to this side. Okay. So both the polar molecules and non-polar molecules having the net electric dipole moment before electric field is 0. Okay, it is having the individual electric dipole moment, but when we are seeing the total effect, it is having the 0 electric dipole moment. Okay, net electric dipole moment is 0 in this case. Okay, and when we apply the external field, they are start aligning in the particular direction. So both cases we can say there is a alignment. Okay, so this alignment is depend on the external electric field. Now next term is electric susceptibility. Before that you should know the polarization. Okay, so polarization means is equal to, we can say it a vector P is equal to net electric dipole moment P net. It is also is small, it is capital, per unit volume. Okay, so net electric dipole moment per unit volume will be your polarization, that is denoted by capital P. Okay, and the polarization or degree of polarization is depend on the electric field. Okay, and here proportionality sign which is over there, so that proportion sign is, we can say it is chi. So chi is electric susceptibility, chi E for electric into E. Okay, so chi E suggests now how much external electric field can polarize a particular molecule. Okay, whether it is polar molecule or non-polar molecule. So how much external electric field can polarize over there, and it is depend on the material. So different material can have different nature of the polarization, and that material constant is called as electric susceptibility. Now if you see the expression for electric potential due to point charge, so that expression is V is equal to some kq by r. Okay, so for a particular distance, say it is r is constant, so k is also constant. We can say that V is directly proportional to q, or q is directly proportional to V. Means electric potential is directly proportional to charge, or charge is directly proportional to electric potential. But the ratio of q by V, which is always remains constant, and that constant is called as electrical capacitance. So q by V is equal to the capacitance of a given conductor. Okay, the ratio of the electric charge and potential is a capacitance of that particular conductor. Okay, so here we can define the capacitance as the amount of charge required to raise the potential of a conductor by unit amount. Amount of charge Q required to raise the potential of a conductor by unit amount is called as electrical capacitance, and it measures the ability of the conductor to store electric charge. This you have to remember. The capacitor measure the ability of the conductor to store electric charge. Okay. So we can define C is equal to Q by V. Now SI unit used for the capacitor, that is Farad, which is named after a famous scientist Faraday. Okay, but like Coulomb, Farad is also very big unit. So you have to use their other abbreviation like microfarad. So that can be written at 10 raised to minus 6 farad. Sometimes we have to use picofarad also. So 1 picofarad is equal to 10 raised to minus 12 farad. Okay, and it is its symbol which we can use for the capacitor is of parallel lines. Okay, two parallel lines over there. And when we can having the variable capacitor, that time along with this parallel line you have to just show a arrow over there. So this is your fixed capacitor and this is your varying capacitor over there. Okay, next we can see capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor, which we learned earlier that the potential, electric potential for a spherical conductor. So we know that spherical conductor behave as a point charge placed at the center. Okay, and for that we can have the potential is kq by r. So k is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into net charge upon its radius, that is r. Okay, so this is your electric potential at a surface due to a spherical conductor. And as we know that capacitance C is equal to Q by V. Q is net charge enclosed by it upon potential V. So we can substitute the value of Q over here, value of V over here, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Okay, so here we can easily say that Q get cancelled out. So C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. Okay, or we can say that it can be written as R by K. K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, like this. Okay, so if we see this term here, 4 is constant, pi is constant, epsilon naught is also constant. So for spherical conductor, capacitance is directly proportional to its radius. Okay, so bigger the radius, bigger is the capacitance. Okay, so task for you is, we know the radius of the earth ka radius is equal to 6400 kilometer. Okay, so using this formula, C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R, you should find the capacity of the earth. Okay, this is a homework for you. Remaining capacitor concept we will do in the next class. Okay, so you have to attend that. Also, along with this video lectures, YouTube video lectures, we are planning the online classes, that also you have to attend regularly. Okay, according to the timetable, and you should follow the timetable, and you have to attend the both teachers physics classes. That is, some lectures are given by Richa ma'am and some lectures are given by me. So both lectures you have to attend regularly. You should follow the worksheet, you should solve that worksheet regularly and give the MCQ test, so that we can also know that how much you are studying or not. Okay, thank you, all the best to you.